All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Erickson Brothers Podcast, where we discuss questions we don't know the answer to and the returns on some of life's investments. We are in episode 11, I believe, getting up there. And yeah, Jeff, how's it going? What's new? Um,
Everything's
how,
been going well. Everything's going well. The weather's starting to turn around here in San Diego, so that means I'm happy. And yeah, just finished up a conference for work this whole weekend. So actually, I just got back from that not too long ago. So I'm fired up. I'm ready to start working tomorrow. And yeah, I'm doing well. How are you, bro?
Good. No conferences for me this weekend, just hanging out with friends. It was one of my buddy's birthdays, and the parents were in town, so I took off Thursday, Friday, and uh, I'm excited to get back after it and work. It was a nice 4 day break, but ready to get back into it. So
Sweet, sweet, good to hear. Yeah, so let's jump right into the topics. Is there anything specific that you wanted to go over? Anything that
yeah,
fine?
yeah. So the 2 weeks ago we talked about how I was going to get up every day at 6 a.m. and that's been a fail. I have not been doing that. I started the first few days I did well. Got up in I was in Chicago that week, so I was getting up at 6. And then the day I got back from Chicago, we had a late flight, so I got in back to my apartment around 12:31, and I just told myself I need to sleep. Like I've got another day of work tomorrow, and I got to get some hours of sleep. So I slept until 7 or 8. I slept until 8 actually because it was work from home. And then since then, kind of just like let it go. And is so it hasn't been good. And I'm realizing that it was a aggressive goal, but I think I still need to commit to it because I did say I was going to do it, and all I can do is just control what's ahead of me. But thus far, the past 2 weeks has been a fail.
And how do you feel about that?
It's fine. I haven't. I think I've done a better job of even though I haven't gotten up at 6. I've been just doing a quick devotional in the morning because I have had more time and I'm prioritizing that a little bit. So like the effects um were good, but I think for my personal health and just the New York lifestyle between work and late dinners and things like that, it's just hard to um get enough sleep and participate and all that. So uh I'm a little annoyed at myself, but it's I guess the um there haven't been consequences either, so it's not like I am feeling it even though I didn't say what I was going to do.
Well, that's the thing. You don't see the consequences until a couple months down the road.
Yeah, but I mean physically now the rewards are I'm sleeping more and I don't see any consequences in that. And it's there would just be a lot I miss out on, like professionally and in the if I were to get up early, like at 6 a.m. and that's not even that early, which is the weird thing. And I think one thing that I've been doing is just justifying why I didn't hold up my end of the bargain to myself. But yeah, just haven't done it.
So is it a problem with we didn't set the right goal or we're not executing on the goal? Because if it's like if you don't see the benefits in it, then like we set the wrong goal, you know?
That's true. So I think we did set. I set the wrong goal. I think it was cool. Like get up early every day and see what happens. But uh, logistically, like if I'm working until 8 or 9 and then I eat at 10, then it's hard to wind down. And like going out with friends and just like participating in life doesn't really lend itself to getting up at 6. Um, so and then I don't see a whole lot of motivation. I don't see a whole lot of reason to change that. So uh, I think I'm gonna get up every day at 6 this week. Because with like my parents in town, there's a lot going on and um, just things like that. So I think this week I can get back into the routine and it'll be a lot easier for me to like go to bed early and commit to that. But we'll see how it goes this week and we'll report back and see what happens.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Do you want me to comment on how I'd comment on this as a businessman or
Sure. Comment.
okay. All right, I'll give you what I'm actually thinking. Um, you're gonna
Yeah.
you're gonna see how it goes. So you're gonna see how the result goes, even though it's a controllable result. Is that right?
It's a sorry, I gotta get this back up.
It's controllable.
It is.
So are you gonna see how it goes, or are you gonna get it done?
Well, I'll get it done. It's just we'll see like, oh, was I able to like accomplish what I wanted to accomplish in the morning, like with lifting or with running,
Oh, okay.
and am I getting to bed early enough to feel productive during the day too? Because I don't want to be just pounding coffee all day. So we'll see how it goes, but I can say now that like I'll be working every day this week. Not Friday, but yeah, we got Friday off. So
But for Easter?
yeah, I believe so. So, but I can commit to just the next 5 days, and that'll be good.
Cool. Yeah, that's good stuff. I like it.
Yeah. So I'm running in Central Park tomorrow morning, and yeah, we'll report back.
Love it. Yeah, I was actually talking to some guys on my team about this, and they were saying that um, they were having some, they were mentioning that they kept snoozing their alarms in the morning.
Hmm.
And I was just like, that's a no-go. I was like, never snooze your alarm. I was like, if you think you need more sleep, then decide that beforehand. Because when you snooze your alarm, what you're telling yourself is that you had a goal and you had an outcome you tried to achieve. But then when the situation got hard and it got tough and you got uncomfortable, you weren't willing to achieve your goal. So internally, you're processing and you're coding in your mind that I'm not willing to get uncomfortable to get to my result. Right. So if it's like kind of like we were mentioning earlier, like if you'd rather wake up at 7, just say, I'm going to wake up at 7 and just make that your outcome. But like the worst thing you could do is say, I'm going to wake up at 6 and then just keep snoozing your alarm because you're too tired or you don't want to wake up because confidence and self belief comes from keeping the promises you make to yourself, right? And just pretty straightforward. You make a promise, you keep it. Make a promise, you keep it. So
Hmm.
when you make a promise to yourself that you're going to do something, that you're going to get up a certain time, that you're going to make a certain amount of phone calls, that you're going to make a certain amount of DMs, cold outreach, whatever it is, um, when you don't keep that promise, then you start to lose the reputation you have with yourself, and it's a tough wall to kind of get over, you know.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
that's
But
why.
also like with the sleep thing, like you could wake up in the middle of the night or you could wake up in the morning and realize that you didn't sleep well, you could be sick. Like there's going to be more important things to your short term benefit than like the long term thing. Like yeah, if you wake up and you're like, wow, like my throat is sore, like blah blah blah, then you're it you're gonna benefit from that extra 1 hour or 2 hours sleep over just saying you're gonna get up just to get up. I
Yeah,
guess that's a rare situation.
that is very rare to where you go to bed and you get sick overnight. I mean, it does happen. It
It does happen where you just don't sleep well or like it does happen, but
we're playing,
I see your point.
yeah, we're playing the rule, not the exception, so to speak.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
One thing Alex Hormozy talks about that I really like is he says emotionally prepare yourself for the worst case scenario, and that's something that I wish I did um, earlier in my life, especially because like when we were when we lifted in high school, when we wake up and lift for high school baseball, there would be
Mhm.
some scenarios where it'd just be like snowing and it would be like brutal and like you wouldn't sleep well and like you were tired. And I would wake up and because I didn't want to do that, I would just like make an excuse to not lift. And that even happened in college. And if I had emotionally prepared myself for literally the worst case scenario and then made the decision knowing that if the worst case scenario still happens, I'm still going to do it. Um, I think I would have been able to A, get better results, and then B, um, just have better, like, just be able to execute better, really, is what it comes down to. But I kind of like that perspective.
Yeah, I like that too. And with the sleep too, that really you're like, okay, even if I do sleep poorly, I'm gonna get up at 6. Or I don't know, like yeah, prepare yourself for the worst outcome. So and in 99.9% of the time you're gonna be excited that
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't the worst outcome.
Yep.
And but it also gets you into that just like a mindset of preparation. And I guess some people could look at it as like, oh, you're thinking about you need to be an optimist or blah blah blah, but you got to be prepared. And the things that like just classic Murphy's law, like anything that can happen will happen. So got to be prepared for all circumstances. So
Bingo.
mhm,
There it
mhm.
is. Yeah, cool. One topic I wanted to talk about, moving on to topic number two for the day. Um, One thing I heard that I really liked at the conference was the senior executive vice chairman. So he's the guy that ran the whole conference. He runs San Diego, like runs the whole business for San Diego. And he has agents all across the US. And one thing he says is he stopped drinking on Friday and Saturday nights. And one of the reasons he did that is because he felt like on the weekends that he didn't drink, he just stayed in flow state and it was easier for him to be more creative. It was easier for him to be able to be back to peak performance on Monday, and there was no like lag time. So like he could take the Sunday to request to like recharge, and he could take Sunday to like refocus instead of having to get over his hangover on Sunday. Um, and so he's like, yeah, I stopped like drinking every weekend. He's like, there's like some occasions here and there that I might have a cocktail or whatever, but I'm kind of curious what your thoughts are. Do you think drinking in general, do you think it slows down the flow state? I know we've talked about flow before. And if it does, what are the pros and cons to that? And if there are pros to drinking, what are they?
Yeah, I agree. I think in a and I think there are multiple benefits to not drinking. Uh, I don't think I'm in a most people are in like jobs or creative mindsets to where they need to be in a flow state, but like like the most immediate effect is like physical health, and just secondly, just like financially, it saves you a lot of money,
Hmm.
and um and it saves you like it's better for you physically. It saves more time. It allows you to do more things. Like it's pretty incredible. Um, so I've heard.
So,
But like, so I've heard from other people. One of my good buddies isn't drinking for Lent, so he uh he's just noticed that like it's a good remind. It was a good reminder for him that he can be in social situations without drinking. Um, he still likes to go out and have fun, but he's just not drinking. And he committed to it, and it's coming towards the end of Lent, so he's excited to start drinking again. um but he just like, and he saved like a few hundred. He said like you probably save like $100 every weekend at least by
yeah,
not drinking. And it's like you like with binge drinking, like there's even everything just gets amplified to where like you don't know like what you did sometimes, or you don't have full control. So uh the benefits to drinking are like socially it's accepted. Like sometimes
I
it's
think
like a
it's socially encouraged.
socially encouraged in a corporate setting. It's preferred for business. It's a lot of business is done over drinks. Um, it's and it's yeah. So it's I don't know if there other than like sometimes you might need to like go out with work friends and or just like a client and like grab a few drinks. Like there's a lot of benefits to stopping drinking. That being said, I do drink, and I am and especially like today I was like, why do I feel the need to buy a vodka soda for everyone at the bar? Um so yeah, it's not good. Drinking is just not good. But
Is
that being said, I can't say that I'm speaking from the side of somebody who drinks.
right. Uh,
Yeah.
and like,
But I do enjoy it. Like that, like it is fun. Like it is fun like getting a margarita at a Mexican restaurant, or like grabbing beers with friends. Like that is a lot of fun. So
mhm,
but I mean I think that's why people do it. That's why I do it.
right.
Uh,
And I'm not sober by any means, but at the same time, I legit haven't gotten drunk in it's crazy, probably since like New Year's,
mm.
which is wild. Like,
Didn't you go to that wedding?
yeah, New Year's Eve.
No, you went to a wedding like 2 weeks ago.
I had like 4 or 5 drinks. Um, I maybe had like 8 drinks. I maybe
Yeah.
had like 8 drinks, but I was still like coherent. Um,
Hmm.
so yeah, maybe like here there, but it's not an every weekend thing. And for me, again, why I like that is just like I literally feel like my head gets cloudy on Sundays when I'm hungover. I like physically feel my head like I just
Yeah.
don't like I'm just like dragging myself through the day. I'm not motivated. I don't have as much energy. And to me, I honestly think that the the cons for drinking outweigh the pros, at least right now in this stage of my life.
Yeah.
So that's why majority of my weekends are kind of just more chill, more low key than anything. But yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll we'll see that how this can be something we can continue to talk about.
Because that's a perspective we're going to change for sure. Like I don't know what that's going to look like for us even next year. That might be a different perspective we have on it.
Yeah, yeah, I think yeah. But that's the thing. Like most people share the belief that I have that drinking's bad, but they still do it. Oh, that's laundry. But anyway, sorry about that, guys. Um, and I would say most people in the world are in the same boat I am. It's like, oh yeah, stopping drinking's great, but they still drink. I still drink. So, um, yeah, I think it's like an internal battle, but like the other side of it is probably a lot better.
Yeah,
Uh,
maybe just like reducing how much. So like never going like full cold turkey, especially if it's something that like you're not addicted to it, but like reducing the consumption of it,
yeah, yeah. I was thinking
going
too
down to like two
because
to
I missed
three.
because I didn't go to church this morning because I was not feeling well. And yeah, just like super cloudy head and tired and I really like church and I think it's and I like two of my friends went so I like missed out on that. Um so I can definitely scale it back, especially on like a Saturday night when I know something I have Sunday morning is very important to me. So that's a work in progress, but it's tough.
Yeah, just progress.
Yeah, just like yeah. So yeah, here we are. We both drink. We both see all the benefits to stop drinking. And again, here on the Erickson Brothers Podcast, we're not claiming to know anything more, claiming to be better. We're just trying to figure it out.
We keep it 100 over here.
Yeah, yeah, we do. Well,
Um, sweet. Number three, topic number three.
yeah.
You,
Um,
you got anything off the top of your head?
nope.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't really think of. I don't really have anything specifically, but I just finished up a conference, uh, and there's like some really good things that I took away, some things that are applicable, and I always get so intimidated. I don't know if you've ever had this experience, as you're not in entrepreneurship as of this stage in your career. But with me, I was just in a room. There's 400 of us at this conference in San Diego, and we just got super fired up. We just got motivated over the last 2.5 days, and I got I got intimidated because I'm like, wow, I'm having to compete. First of all, I'm having to compete against 400 people that also heard all of this information that is going to go do it. But I was also, another feeling I had was I was just getting frustrated because I was like, okay, like even like Friday night, like I was like, okay, like I've heard enough information. Like now I just want to go apply it. Like I got it. Like I get what I have to do. Like I know what I have to do in order to build my business. I know I got to prospect. I know I got to talk to clients. Like I know I got to train people and personally develop all that good stuff. But like, let me just go do it. And I felt like I was just getting so frustrated. But I'm kind of curious when you're have you ever felt that? Have you ever either A felt intimidated by people that you're quote unquote competing against that are at your level? And then B, have you ever felt frustrated that you're like learning so much and like when you're learning the information, you just want to go apply it instead of like continuing to learn it?
So synthesizing, just like you're frustrated because you feel like you're plateauing a little bit.
Well, I was frustrated because I was like, okay, like I understand, like I get what I have to do, and it's just like I keep on getting reminded of what I have to do, and I'm like, at least for me, uh, I just need to be told once, and then like I'm good to go. I don't need a whole conference. Obviously, there's like little tweaks and little things you can pick up here and there for different parts of your business, but um, I was just like, okay, like I understand, like I get it, like I just want to just go out and just start working. Um, so,
So what's the problem?
well, it wasn't a problem. It's just I'm curious if you've ever felt that yourself, to where it's kind of like you get to the point where you don't need to hear any more information, and it just comes down to getting yourself to do it.
Yeah, yeah. I think the well, initially what you talked about, like you're hearing information, you know what you have to do, you're going, and you just need to go out and do it. Like I remember with baseball, I was probably like from COVID up until I had surgery, just like worked so hard for that. And like I knew like okay, like I need to throw more, do the weighted balls, make sure I get my mobility in every day, like lift as hard as I can. And like the that winter of 2021, um preparing, like training, like get on the mound, like 92, 94, feel great. Like I was in January, first time off a mound, arms feeling electric, and I'm just buzzing like 92 and 92, 93, 94 with run and ride. And then I like keep training, and then like long story short, like pretty much like a year and change later at Washington State as a fifth year, like I'm still consistently like 90, 91, 92, 93. And it's just like I've done so much work. I put in like 3 hours every day of my entire life. Like why am I not throwing harder? So that was definitely frustrating because I knew it's like, okay, like just gotta like build the strength and like work on the mechanics, do the right drills, and the velocity just didn't increase from there. Um, so that was definitely frustrating. Because it was my life, and there's it's hard to see progress when it's so numerical, with a speed velocity like that. Like so it yeah, and I think too in learning settings, people tend to like hold your hand and like go over things multiple times. Um, and you're like, all right, good, I got it. Like, good, like sounds good, great, got it, understood. And you just need to go out and do it. And like, but you can't always control um what's coming to you and how you learn. You just kind of need to be patient. So, um, I think with both throwing and professionally and academically, just being patient. Like if you know you're committing, if you know you're doing the right things, like results will come.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point.
Um,
That's a good point.
and because it's just process. It's all it is process. Like every coach that I've had, every good coach that I've had, they just talk about process over and over and over again. And the and everybody needs to figure out like what their process is. And for you, it sounds like you know what your process is. You've heard it, you know what it's been drilled into your head multiple times, and you just need to go out and do it. And you are doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it just sounds like the results haven't come yet, or not as quickly as you want them to. So that that's all you can do is just like stick to the process, know it works, and sometimes you need to tailor your process, change it up a bit, but uh, just you can't be like worried about the results. You need to go with what
Yeah.
you can control.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So,
Have you ever been intimidated in the workspace by your coworkers?
uh, yeah, definitely. I think because you see like the success that some people have had over their career, and I'm not necessarily um like I think it's cool. Um, and since I'm still new, like I'm still the newest guy, I'm the youngest guy on the team by uh at least 4 years. So I feel like I feel like I'm in a good spot because of that. And if I can just continue to be the youngest guy in the room, learning and absorbing as much as possible, that's a good thing.
Hmm.
And that's the goal. So, but it is cool to see like you can take like what people I see in the workforce and either be intimidated at that or just like use that as opportunity to learn.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. Um, yeah, sometimes yeah, no, I felt intimidated, but I know again, like a lot of people aren't actually gonna do what they say they're gonna do, or they're just when it comes to the nitty gritty, like when it comes to waking up at 5 a.m., they're just not gonna do it, you know? And when it comes to getting uncomfortable, when it comes to reaching out to people, again, majority of people are big talk, but um
Example A said I
when
was going to do it,
yeah,
and I did.
when it comes down to the nitty gritty, they're not willing to dive right in. And I have to remind myself, weird enough, like I'm telling you how I think. I have to remind myself that people people don't commit to what they say they're gonna do, because if they did, like I would be like super intimidated by coming out of this conference, because I'm like, holy shit, there's so many people here. Like there's people that look like they dress sharper than me, they talk better than me, they come from a finance background, they come from a sales background, whatever that is, and I'm competing against them. But again, I got to know that people are really predictable in large numbers. That's something that I learned. People are predictable in large numbers, meaning again, you stick to the process, you stick to committing to the actions, then you don't have to worry about what other people are going to do.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, I let's wrap it up. Jeff, how are you investing your time and your money this year or this week?
Uh, Investing my time this whole weekend, I invested my time into learning. And
Hmm.
big thing was another great weekend for associations. Um, Constantly putting myself in associations with people that are just high achievers. Um, I was sitting in the fourth row. I was sitting in the fourth row of 8 rows, and it goes in. It's by leadership or by cash flow, so to speak. But I was constantly pushing myself to meet the people that are in the first row, that are the senior brokers, and I met a lot of them. I'm in the office with a lot of them. I met a lot of them last weekend, and those were the people I was kind of like hanging around and being just kind of like chatting with in between like the lunches or in between the talks or whatever. And again, I think it's investing your time in associations, because you start to hang around people long enough, you're going to start to believe that you can achieve the results they're achieving. So that's what I got for this week. What about you?
Yeah, I think one thing I forgot to mention about like last night went out, but um uh it was one of my buddy's birthdays, but one of my favorite parts about it was I was able to introduce like two really close groups of friends that I have and bring them all together. Um and I found a lot of joy in that. Like one of my good high school friends, um I introduced him to my college buddies, and my baseball friends were there, and then like my roommates. So like it was like a combination of like three groups of people that I was able to help bring together. Um, and I love that because I spend so much time with all three of them, and it's kind of separate, but seeing them all together, interacting was really cool. So um, this week, gonna hopefully have two deals close. So it's investing. There's going to be a lot of work for that. And mostly I'm just going to be absorbing as much information as I can, learning the process, how people talk to lawyers, different sponsors, different banks. So really looking forward to that because that'll be like the first time I see something like either a loan syndication or a sponsor deal go from start to finish. So looking forward to that. That's time and money. Just um, when I went to the grocery store this morning, so I can plan out my week of meals a little bit better. And then if I so I'll be able to continue to focus on work instead of taking time away from work to go out. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. And yeah, looking forward to this week. Got another friend flying in next week. Uh, yeah, very very grateful for all those friends and opportunities I have. So it's good.
Yeah, love it. Love it. Good work. Well, wrapping up episode 11 here at Erickson Brothers Pod. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
that's what we got for today.
Just trying to figure it out.
Trying to figure it out and do the boring work.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I got. Peace.
Peace.